Psst. Psst. Oh my god. So much weight in this OTK deck. I know what you're thinking. Wow, Travis, you devishly handsome yet charming. You're definitely not thinking that. Anyways, have a train deck profile for you guys today. This is an updated list for the new January ban list. We have had to scrap Engage. God damn it! Sky Striker Trains was so good. I was plussing like crazy, making people quit on YGO Pro, feeling good about myself, because if you want to feel good about yourself, definitely play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, we have had to change the list quite a bit. We're not running the Sky Striker package anymore because we can't. Anyways, I really wish we could. We've switched back to the Shaddoll variant. Not a crazy big fan of the Shaddoll variant, but you activate Shaddoll Fusion and go +3. What's not to like? Anyways, let's get into this heavyweight deck profile. Let's get straight into the list here. We're going to start off with 3 Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. Upon normal or special summon, you can target an Earth Machine in your graveyard, special summon it. Its other effect is that you can target a monster and make it or the other become the level of either. So you can target at level 10, make them both level 10, target any other level, make them both level 4. Great, great card. We can make Abyss Dweller with this, and we make all of our rank 10s with this. It's a really great extender because we special back from the grave. And it's also great to add this card back to your hand with Bullet Express. Moving on, 3 Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. You must run 3 of this card. When you normal or special an Earth Machine, you can special this from hand once per turn. You can also, when this is detached, you can pop a card on the field, not once per turn. So you could activate this. I've actually activated this 4 times in a turn. It is possible, because you can have 2 under a monster, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a great special summon card.
Wait, how you say 4 in Spanish?
How do you say what?
4 in Spanish. Cuatro. Alright, good. There you go.
Right.
Super.
Super
Express Bullet Train, guys.
Super Express Bullet Train. So, if you control all Earth Machines, that's why we don't run Phantasma, unfortunately. I wish I could, but this card kind of negates the purpose of that. If you control all Earth Machines, you can special this from hand, but what we mainly use it for is that during the end phase, if it was sent to the graveyard this turn, that's either by detach, link, discarding it, however it got into the graveyard. During the end phase, you can add a Earth Machine in your graveyard back to your hand. So I usually add Pegasus back to my hand if I don't already have it, and sometimes I'll even add the Derrick Crane if I do have the Pegasus. That way I can special one from grave and then chain this. That way I have a pop on my next turn, because we popping off. Next we run 2 Night Express Knight. Not 3, because seeing multiples of this would be bricky, but we run Desires, so if we banish one we can still search, but you can normal summon this card without tributing it, its attack becomes 0. But it is just a nice option aside from your Pegasus, so that's 5 normal summons, but this is just another way to get into your rank 10. Moving on, the 1 Ruffian Railcar. I only run 1 because, like Night Express Knight, seeing multiples can brick, but you really only need the 1 because you're not going to be hard summoning this in any way. You will summon this off of Urgent Schedule. If you draw it, you'll pitch it off the field spell. You'll also special this back during your opponent's turn with Pegasus, because during the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard, be it destruction, detach, pitching it, however it gets there, during the end phase you can add a level 10 Earth Machine from your deck to your hand. So you'll search your Derrick Crane, your Night Express Knight, or your Super Bullet Express. So you'll have plenty of extenders for the following turn. Also, it's nice to summon this off Urgent Schedule with Bullet Express, because then you get the double search during the end phase. Moving on, an honorary train. Jizukiru, the Sky Star Destroying Cosmic Kaiju Guy. This is an honorary train. I would definitely run 3 of this in any train built, because not only do you absolutely need the spot removal of tributing your opponent's monsters, but you can search this card, which we'll get into later. But if you have multiples, you can tribute and special one onto your side of the field. That also comes into play with some side deck options I'll show you later, but definitely run 3 of this if you're going to take it seriously. Next, I have a very interesting card, Infinitrack Tunneler. Now, I know what you're saying. Wow, Travis, I've never seen that card. How can you be so brilliant and so handsome?
That's not what they're saying. They're saying, what the fuck? Infinitracks, this shit is trash.
Honestly, Infinitracks kind of are trash. I've been considering actually running them in this deck, just because Urgent Schedule is so broken. But that's how we'll be getting this card out on the field. Let me just skip ahead real quick, do some cheating. Urgent Schedule can summon a level 4 or higher and a level 4 or lower, so that'll be your level 4 or higher off Infinitrack Tunneler. So what's nice is you can Urgent Schedule these 2 cards out, these 2 cards out.
Any card in your deck.
Anyone that you need. So the reason that I love this card so much, you can also send it with Shaddoll Fusion, but the reason I love this card so much, and I'll read you the exact text, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 5 Earth Machine monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 2 cards. That's right, we have a tutorable Pot of Avarice.
Jesus.
We don't run Pot of Avarice for that specific reason, because it wouldn't really matter. No. All our monsters are Earth Machines anyways, so we actually use this to shuffle back our extra deck monsters because this is an absolutely broken card, Cowboy on Crack. So just the one, it can be a bit bricky. If you don't like it, side it out. And if you don't like it, don't run it. I don't control your life. The 2 Shaddoll bricks. It does kind of suck to draw these because you can't actually pitch them off your field spell and get their effects. You can only get their effects through Shaddoll Fusion. There's no other way in this deck to actually proc their effects. So that part kind of sucks about them. But goddamn, are they so good when they do go off, because you can activate Shaddoll Fusion, you know, send these, draw a card, shuffle 5 back, draw 2, that's, you know...
Plussing for days.
You're plussing for days. So that's really worth it. Also, Dragon for popping back row is absolutely essential in trains, because a well-timed Tikaboo will make you cry and make you switch to Magic the Gathering. So that's it for the monsters. I believe it is either 20 or 21 monsters. But yeah, so that's it for that. Just move these over. Moving on to the spells. 1, 2, 3, I see that Tikaboo, goodbye. God damn, that card really shuts this deck down. I almost specifically run this card just for that. But it is a quick play. You can pitch your like Bullet Express and get a plus in the end phase with that. You can do the same thing with Ruffian Railcar, the same thing with Infinitrack Tunneler. You get where I'm going. You could also even pitch like a Derek Crane, and then normal summon this, special back the Derek Crane. So a lot of cute interactions with this card. You can also pop your own Urgent Schedule, which I'll also explain. But definitely, I think running 3 of this is kind of essential, because you can just side these cards out if you're going against a combo variant deck, but trap decks like back row just really sucks, especially like Mystic Mine, if there are still Mystic Mine players left around.
I'm sure there is.
Somewhere.
Desires.
You gotta run 3. I hate it at 3 because I always happen to draw one, but you really need the draw power. It's also absolutely essential to make sure you bait negations out of your opponent with, like, this card, you know, anything you have, because, you know, it's almost a must negate. Yeah. Like, if you're going to be plussing back into your hand, like any of these cards, that's your rank 10, so your opponent kind of has to negate this, but it's a really nice card because it's ashable, which these next 2 cards I have for you, Shaddoll Fusion, yeah, Foolish Burial, summon a rank 10. We actually only run the 1 Sheck because we shuffle it back with the Infinitrack Tunneler, but this is, you know, absolutely essential just for sending the Dragon, popping a back row, sending the Beast, drawing a card, and then Shekinaga. If you happen to draw a secondary one, you can negate a special summon monster effect by pitching a Shaddoll card. So, you know, it's not even bad to see in multiples, but yeah, it's ashable. So is this card, Urgent Schedule. Wow, is this the card that makes this deck? This is the card that makes this deck. Like, I cannot say it enough, because not only is it a flash spell, so you can chain it to effects. Say your opponent controls one monster that's from the extra deck, you can Shaddoll Fusion, chain Urgent Schedule. Like, that's just kind of a brief example of the interactions that happen there. But what's so great about this, let me actually read the exact effect, because it's worded kind of strangely. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon a level 4 or lower and a level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense position, but negate their effects. You cannot declare an attack the turn you activate this effect, except with machine monsters. What do you know? All our monsters are machines. If this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. So why that's so amazing is because, like I was saying earlier, you can search the Jizukiru off popping this. You know, there is those weird situations where a lot of people might say neg, but you're just going 0 if you Twin Twister your own, but, you know, that's kind of a weird interaction that can happen. Another weird interaction is Bullet Express can only declare an attack if you send 2 cards you control to the graveyard, so you can also, you know, say this is the only monster that you can beat stick with. You could send the Urgent Schedule to get an additional search off of that. I don't know why you wouldn't have activated it unless you had multiples, but it's also nice to set them if you do have multiples. It's a lot to explain. This deck is complicated. You attack and think sometimes. So
basically like any Yu-Gi-Oh deck nowadays?
Rarely is there a thinking deck. I think if you have above a room temperature IQ, you can play Spiral, but if you're like me, you're going to want to stick to a deck like this. So, Revolving Switchyard. The deck kind of revolves around this card.
Pun intended.
Yeah, so you pitch a card, search a level 10 Earth Machine from your deck to your hand, so that's all of Gish, except Jizukiru, you can't search it off that. But it's another amazing effect that it has is if a level 10 Earth Machine is normal or special summoned during either player's turn, you can summon a level 4 Earth Machine with 1800 attack from your deck. So why that's so great is because you can, say, activate Urgent Schedule during your opponent's turn, it'll summon out a level 10 Earth Machine. You can then summon the Pegasus from your deck. The Pegasus then can target an Earth Machine in your graveyard. So what I like to do is, if I activate the Urgent Schedule, I'll summon out this guy and the Ruffian Railcar. That way I get the double search, and I also get this, and you can then special summon a Earth Machine from your grave. So during your opponent's turn, you can set up a wall that's going to get you recursion.
Jeez.
The Bullet Express is going to grab you the Pegasus back, and then the Railcar will search you your Crane most likely, because that's probably the best card to search off of that. So yeah, a lot of really amazing interactions that happen with this card. So as you can see too, there's just a lot of cards to negate in this deck. Like, you'll be drawing at least one of these cards, unless you stacked your deck for Cranes, run 4 by the way. So any of these cards have to kind of be negated. So there are some really amazing combos you can do with just these 2 cards, because they're both pluses in of themselves. You know, this card, you can also set your Urgent Schedule for Revolving Switchyard, proc that effect, draw 2, because drawing cards is how you win. Moving on. Terraforming. No need to explain. Search Revolving Switchyard. Monster Reborn. So, I say this in a lot of my profiles, run this in every single deck, and that is true. I possibly could still say that. Run this in every single deck. So this card is so good, because not only if you top deck this, you can kind of win, because you'll just summon your Pegasus and get its effect and have a rank 10 off one card, but it's also a great extender. You can also steal your opponent's Dingirsu. You can, you know, steal the change out of their pocket with it too if you need a soda, that kind of thing. So it's a great card. That's it for the spells. I believe that's 16 spells or 14. I don't count. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a calculator. So moving on. This is kind of strange. 3 infinite impermanence. So we're going second deck. I don't really want to run hand traps per se. You could run a heavier hand trap lineup. In fact, I might even recommend that if you don't like the Shaddoll stuff. Run hand traps. It's going to be so much more effective just so that you have less to deal with on your turn. But I like impermanence just because it can't be called by the grave. You can activate multiples in the same turn. You can start your turn by negating one of their, you know, say their Appaloosa with this. But what also is so great about it is you can set it in the same column as a floodgate and allow yourself to play play. So it has some dual purpose in this deck. While being a disruptor, it's also a back row disruptor. So a lot of back row hate in this deck. I mean, you're running the 3 twins, these 3, and then obviously Derek Rain pops a card, so you'll be popping back row with that. Really just want to hit the Teekaboo with this. And then on that note, we do main deck.
Oh, God.
The 1.
I thought it died with the last Banlist.
Wah, wah. This is his last attempt activating the train to go into overdrive. You can see him flipping the switch there. So you activate this card, it resolves, you are winning. Like, if you're not winning after you activate this card, clearly you didn't read it, but you are a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I won't expect much from you. Skill Drain.
Speaking
yes.
of Yu-Gi-Oh players.
So, this is a weird card. I don't know how to feel about this card. I like it, but it is very old school train. I do really like it though. It comes up especially when you draw, and you're running Desires. You probably draw it. You don't care if you banish it. You don't really need it.
Why not? Most decks nowadays they summon.
Oh my God.
Their combos are like 1,500 attack monsters that they start off their combos with.
Exactly.
You activate that, it's a wrap.
Effects,
yes.
man, that's it. So, it's pretty nice because even after you overlay into your XYZ, you can still proc its effect by detaching even though its effect is negated. That's how XYZs work, and your Derek Rain can then pop a card so that effect can still activate. So, you still have, like, some spot removal, but what's so great is that these cards work in tandem. Your Night Express Knight, right, you normal summon it, its attack becomes 0. Under Skill Drain, it stays 3k. And the same goes for your Bullet Express. Now, you don't need to send cards to attack. This also works with your Derek Rain. Its attack isn't halved when it's summoned, so you can activate this, summon some 3Ks. Psst, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're just trying to OTK with this deck. That's the whole point. So that's it. We run 5 traps. It is kind of like a strange lineup, but hey, we don't have the Sky Striker portions anymore, and I'm still trying to plus as much as possible. So that's it for the main deck. 40 cards, baby. That's all we like to run. If you run any more than that, prepare to feel the wrath of judgmental Yu-Gi-Oh players.
If you run any more than that, you gotta change the Force of Will. That's the rules.
Also, you play Force of Will? So, me too, after this game. So, now that they banned my Engage,
you got more space now.
Now you have more space in your extra deck. So that's actually like a fairly, like, nice addition, although we were only running the 3 Striker cards anyways. I didn't even run Hayate, like, there's no point. But yeah, this is your main boss monster, Big Daddy Lieb. So you can stack this on top of a rank 10 machine monster, so this applies to most cards in your extra deck. But what happens is you detach, he gains 2,000 permanently, and he can attack up to the number of materials +1, so if he has 1 material, that's 2 attacks, 3 materials, that's 4 attacks, you heard that right. He also starts at the 4K mark, so you can even summon him without activating his effect, attack 4 times if you're just trying to clear a board. That's right.
Yeah, so, you see that? Dude, Humor also teaches you math.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 2 + 1 is
OTK.
2. Wait, that's not right. Yeah, so that's how that works. So with 6K attacking twice, like, oh my god, you can attack a Galatea twice, and that's literally game. So you can bait them with everything until you get to this play just to win anyways. So that's pretty funny. I've actually done that against Orcus people in tournaments. It works, honestly. Next, the main card that you'll be summoning, Gustav Max. So this card, we run at 3. Why do you run this at 3, Travis? Well, hey, I don't like to hear other people's opinions. So I run 3 because I detach and inflict 2k. I've won majority of my games by just detaching and inflicting damage. Cowboy on crack. Wow, people will be like looking at you like you're a Trickstar player. It makes people salty, but wow, is it efficient. Because you can have the Derek Rain underneath it, you detach, inflict 2,000, pop a card, stack your Lieb on top of it, detach, attack twice, and that's usually game. So I do like to run the 3 just for that specific reason. It's 2,000 effect damage, like, come on. So what's so great about that, too, is that you'll be using, I actually summon 2 in most of my turns, just to bait the negations in case this card gets negated, the Lieb. That way he still stays at 4k and you can inflict enough damage. But I'll summon the 2, and then, somewhere in here, Tunneler will shuffle them back, draw you 2 cards. That's right, it's my turn, you have 1 card in hand, draw for turn. Oh man, 2 cards? Okay, shuffle them all back, draw 2. Yep. We're still going to OTK.
That's fair, right, guys?
That's fair. Just the one Dora. So, Dora, if you can summon 2, what's a really smart move is to continue with this play while keeping your Dora on field to protect your lead. So if you can make the 2, make the 2. If not, you can be greedy and summon, you know, the 2 Gustav Max, which I do pretty frequently because I'm stupid. Look at me play this game. So... next, we run the number C9 Chaos Dyson Sphere. This is a weird card, but goddamn is it good. It takes 3 level 10s, but it is a machine, so you can stack your leave on top of it. But what's great is you can attack into a card and suck it up as a material. So it's your out to Avermax, the out to Borreload, the out to any sort of boss monster, and it's actually fairly easy to get the 3 level 10s on field. Normal summon Stampede, summon 1 from Grave, special Derricrane from hand. That's 3 level 10s right there, buddy. So, really great out to boss monsters, and then what's also amazing is that you can inflict 300 damage per material attached to him. So you suck up a card, inflict 12, and then, you know, you can keep on doing it. So a lot of burn cards in this deck.
Okay, this is a burn deck.
Including this card.
OTK.
It is a burn and an OTK deck. Like, it's kind of funny, but I win with the burn damage, like, really, really frequently. So Sky Palace Gangara Duty. So... detach card, pop card in the field, inflict 1,000 damage. What am I saying? We inflict damage. So also can pop a card. You have Derricrane, that's 2 pops. So if he has 2 Derricranes underneath him, detach, pop a card, Derricrane pops a card, leave a detach, pop a card. That's right. We're popping cards. So next, Abyss Dweller. Travis, you can't summon Abyss Dweller in a level 10 deck. Yeah, so let me just, hold on. I need to properly explain this. So, say you go first, blind first, game 1. So, what are your first turn moves? Are you just going to summon the Dora and sit on that 4K booty, make it unaffected, and pop a card with Derricrane? Yeah, that's actually like a pretty effective first turn if that's all you can do. But what's also really smart is you can summon the Pegasus Stampede, then the Heavy Freight Train Derricrane, use Pegasus to target him and make him the same level as Pegasus, so now they're both level 4. Overlay into your Abyss Dweller for your turn 1 play. That way on your opponent's turn, you can now quick effect pop a card with Derricrane and also shut them out of the graveyard with Abyss Dweller. So,
if this deck wasn't cancer enough, now it has Abyss Dweller.
I mean, honestly, you could run more rank 4s if you really want to, like, maybe take this out, one of the Gustav Max. Gangradai is absolutely necessary, so is the Dora.
Yeah.
But you could probably take this out in one of the Maxes if you wanted to run other rank 4s. Or if you're running Infinitrax, you could even run some rank 5s if you're feeling that way. The one Shek,
No need to explain. We already explained it.
Yeah, I mean,
just there for Earth Machine.
Potentially in the inevitable hand where you draw the 2 Shaddoll fusions and the Shaddoll monster, you can summon this, and then at least you have the Shaddoll fusion for a turn 1 negate. Yeah, good luck. Anyways, don't ever do that. I just summoned this because you want to use your Shaddoll fusion kind of as Winter Kills would put it, your superior extender. You want to use it first. Oh wait, that would be a starter card. Sorry, Winter Kills, misusing your lexicon. So, Shekinaga is a level 10 Earth Machine. So we shuffle him back with the Infinitrax to draw 2, so, you know, you can recur him, so running 1 is not a bad idea. But you can also... God damn it. Keep having to go back in here. So you can also use Bullet Express to shuffle it back in because it is an Earth Machine. So, you know, keep that in mind. Also, Bullet Express can recycle any of your XYZs, but that's only, you know, once per turn, so you really want to be shuffling back your other monsters. But if you do have to, you can recycle the leads. Moving on, Nightmare Phoenix. Yeah.
Another back row removal card.
I don't know if you'll ever summon this. I've probably summoned it once, but this is kind of a flex spot, but I would almost, like, I would feel dumber than I usually do if I didn't run this in every deck, just because you want to hit back row cards. But yeah, it's kind of hard to summon, so, I mean, say they flip Tikaboo on it, you're not really going to be able to summon this unless you have a Shaddoll monster in hand. Yeah, so that's not ever going to happen anyways. Cleafort Genius. I did start to run this now that I'm not running the Sky Striker cards because we need as many pluses as possible. So the way that this card works is you'll summon this off your 2 level 10s. Then you'll urgent schedule, save this after you've summoned this, and you'll summon your 2 to the arrows it points to. Now, when 2 monsters are summoned to the 2 arrows it points to, you can add a level 5 or higher machine from your deck to your hand, so you can search your Jizukuru that way. Any other extenders, my god, you're already plussing, so you really need as many ways to plus in this deck as possible, because inherently you're going neg. That means negative for those of you who don't understand abbreviations. Pentastag. Run this. Run this. Literally, your monsters in defense will not save you. It gives your monster piercing damage, and especially on a lead, especially on a lead with 6k or even 8k if they've left it on the field and it didn't go through.
You can attack all the monsters on the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's game. It's really great. It's like a Dino player's choice. Double-headed Anger Knuckle. That's a new sex position I came up with this morning. It's also a really amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card. Wow. So this card makes trains. It's 2 machines, I believe. Yeah, 2 machine monsters. So it is a quick effect on the field, and you can only use one of its effects per turn, so keep that in mind. So quick effect, you can tag out a monster by attributing from your hand or your field to summon a level 10 from the graveyard. So I also use this to kind of protect my Max, or, the Leeb from being destroyed or negated. That way it can at least go through. Although that, realistically that's not going to happen. But it's a really nice way to extend, to get your Derricrane out of the graveyard. That way you can get a pop card. So that's how you can use Derricrane multiple times in a turn, by recurring it. It also triggers your field spell during your opponent's turn. So if you have these 2 monsters up on the field, what you'll do is you'll just leave this out. If you're going first, try to end on this Abyss Dweller in your field spell if you can. I know it's a lot to ask for, and trust me, it really is. It won't ever happen to you, except when it does. So if this is your field, right, really great, use this effect, but now you can tag out the Abyss Dweller, which is smart because it's not an Earth Machine, you don't want to stop your Bullet Express, but you tag it out, summon the level 10 from grave, and like I was showing you earlier, that now triggers this to summon Pegasus from deck, to then summon another from graveyard, so you'll get the double recursion during your opponent's turn as well. That's right, you've added 4 cards back to your hand in 2 turns. So run 2 of this.
Amazing.
Don't run 1, although, I mean, you could realistically run 1, but it's nice to run 2 because it is, like, recurable in a sense. So you can summon it from the graveyard by sending any card from your hand or field. So you could even summon, like, a set urgent schedule, although I don't know why you would do that either, so, weird interactions that happen. But
that's
yeah,
good.
Great card. Let's get on to the side deck. We'll just go through that really quickly. So moving on to the side deck. So yeah, we're in a weird format. We have no established meta, so we want to cover as much ground as possible. Never, ever, ever take this out of your train side deck. Always run this. Not only does it absolutely obliterate combo decks that just use too many resources that they're not going to get back, but the egg. So what's amazing about this is it's a level 10 that comes back to you on your following turn. So it's also an extender in its own right, as well, being a board wipe. You don't necessarily need your normal summon in this deck, because you can Shaddoll Fusion or Urgent Schedule, so you don't necessarily need it, but it is amazing for that reason. Goddamn, have I used this on Pendulum players and just watched all of the joy drain from their face, because that is what I live for.
They don't have any joy, man. They're Pendulum players.
Oh, the top ranks are awaiting you, my sons. Droll and Lock Boyd.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this card, I would say this is an essential side deck, if not an essential main deck
This
card.
format?
Yeah. It honestly hits, every deck. It hits my deck. It hits any, all the Sky Striker players. I'm just kidding. They're not around anymore. Except the one trying to prove something to himself. Just talk to your father and get over your problems. So, Droll is great against Spiral. They're not adding any more cards other than the Upstart Goblin they activated that turn. Same thing with Pendulums. Same thing with True Draco? Question mark?
That's still around.
Yeah, same thing with Guru. So even if say they activate Terraforming, Droll Unlock. Say they activate their field spell, Droll Unlock. So now they can't search with the Guru. So
really, the only thing that it doesn't hurt is Altergeist and the other decks.
Yeah, I don't...
And Salamangrates as well. That's sad.
Potentially could hurt Salamangreats. At least they couldn't get their field spell if they use like Flame Buffalo. I wouldn't side this in for Salamangreats though, but yeah, for that reason, because there are better cards. Yep, Orcust, just go home. Orcust is the dude that's like stayed much too long, and he's like third wheeling, and he's always around, and he
doesn't
like,
take a hint.
You're like, bro, take the hint. Like, wear your baseball hat like the correct way. Like, your snapback should not be backwards. Like, god damn, get out of here, Orcust. Bye bye. So yeah. Run 3 of this card. It's a really amazing hand trap. It actually like affects certain other decks in a weird way. Like you could even hit a Lunalight deck with this because a lot of their effects banish. So against Lunalight, I would probably run this too. If not, I mean, I'd probably maybe run both of those, honestly. But yeah, it's a really amazing card. Still need to run it. The one. Hanky Panky Spankratops. So, yeah, we are going second deck. You're going to choose to go second against the back row. This is just a nice way to clear them out. You're not going to be too worried about OTKing that turn, so the Bullet Express confliction that happens with a monster that's not Earth Machine is a little irrelevant. But you want to be able to run over their monster, bait out the back row, and then pop, and then continue with your plays. This is just a really great card against back row. Unfortunately, it's at 1. So, moving on to the side deck card I was talking about. Mind Control. Wow, is this a great card against a lot of different matchups, but what's so fantastic is that you can kaiju your opponent and take it back. That's right, with Sky Strikers I used to run Widow Anchor for that specific reason, to grab my Jizukuru back, but since we can't do that, Mind Control is now the sub-in, but it is in the side. So it's an amazing side deck card for this deck, especially if you're running the kaiju, so definitely recommend this. Just amazing. Unfortunately it's at 2, but that doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, I know what you're saying. We're giving up our battle phase. Hey man, we're just trying to win. I mean, honestly, that's all we can hope for at this stage of our life.
You don't need a battle phase.
We dropped
you could
out
have
of
burned them to death, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. You could, burn them to death, but if you are trying to go, but you're really just trying to bait your opponent with initial cards, get their negations, and then wipe their field so they only have the 1 left. Of course, they're going to leave Tikaboo to spite you, but hey man, I dropped out of a philosophy degree in community college. I'm not the person to ask for life advice. So yeah, run the 3 evenly matched. If you, I think it's still relevant. It honestly could be a better card, I'm not really sure, but I just needed more back row cards. Like, we already have the triple twin, but, obviously for back row, we're going to run that. We're going to side in these 4, and you're going to side out your Shaddoll engine. Like against Guru, I would probably side these out, or side these in. Probably maybe not the 3rd evenly match, and probably 2 Droll. So that's like for Guru, and then, for Altergeist, you probably would do just the Drolls, these 4. Yeah. And then maybe like a Mind Control for the 5th Shaddoll card. Just because. Thoughts? Yeah. That's the motherfucking deck profile, guys.
That's it. Any last words?
Yeah, we can make trains great again. Goddamn, were they rising in popularity and actually getting pretty good. But, hey, if you, decide to increase your testosterone pill intakes, grow a mustache like me, become a man, talk like Luca Magnotta. That's like such a sick reference. I really hope nobody gets that. Yeah, I think trains are a fun deck. I mean, they're OTK central. You're gonna be like inflicting effect damage. Like it's a strange deck, but wow, is it effective? Like your games are gonna last 5 minutes. 5 minutes or your money back. I'm not going to give you your money back, but you will beat people very quickly. Like when I was at the Brooklyn Regional, I went X in 3, and I actually won like my first 4 matches within like 15 minutes. It was kind of busted because for some reason people like don't make you go first in trains. Like I don't understand. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the thought process is, like maybe building up the negates, but if you make me go second, I have so many cards to deal with your field. We'll just pick apart that board you spent 20 minutes putting up, and then I'm going to win in 2 seconds. So, as long as they have, like, Tikaboo, they might have a chance. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I absolutely love this deck. This is my main pain train game deck that I play. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it for me. Okay. Travis, Duel Humor, signing out.